back to Love Out Loud Austin. We are so glad that you're joining us again today. We have a very special guest. You have no idea how excited I am. Rubén Cantú. This is a son of Austin. You have no idea how excited I am. I think I'm a little nervous that you're here.
Don't forget, we're from the block.
We're from the block. We're from the block. We're from the block. But you're doing a lot of good things for the city, man. I thank you. I've known you for quite some time, but
half our lives.
Half our lives. That is true. Now you're making me feel old. But we have Rubén on the show today. I have a lot of things to go over, so I don't want to get too caught up. But before we get into all the nitty-gritty, I have a couple things I want to ask.
Go for it.
I'm not on social media a lot, sort of.
You're a lurker.
I'm a lurker because, so you have CORE, you have Level Up Institute, but I'm hearing that you have a new thing that's kind of come down the pipeline, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So can you kind of tell us what's going to be happening here in the next couple weeks?
So CORE really has become the platform upon which I was able to build everything else. So from there spun out socialgood.us, and then from there spun out Level Up Institute. And it's really about creating alignment because I believe in helping create a community that helps support impact, innovation, and entrepreneurship, but it's inclusive of everyone. So the Level Up Institute was an effort to do that.
Okay.
And now we've gotten the great opportunity to partner and incorporate or integrate Level Up Institute into the University of Texas, and I will be joining the 40 Acres as the Director of Inclusive Innovation and Entrepreneurship as part of the Division of Diversity and Community Engagement this fall.
Wow.
Thank you.
So that's full circle there.
Yes.
So a son of Austin,
Born
coming
and bred.
up on the block.
On the block.
On the block.
0221. Yes, sir.
So graduates from UT. Now a director at UT.
Coming back, yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man.
I am proud of you, man.
Thank you.
That is an awesome thing.
I think that, Providence really pays off for people who continue to stay on their path. And while, there's a lot of doubters and a lot of people who act out of fear, I think when you stay committed to your path, regardless of what anyone else says about you, opportunities and doors open. I think when you stay committed and you show and deliver, when you abide by the mentality, you ain't got to get ready because you stay ready, I think that's when the opportunity comes. And I think this is just another example. And I'm excited because really it's about bridging that gap. How do we create more people that are similar in background? How do we create more students who come from East Austin, from overlooked and underrepresented and disenfranchised communities, and give them the tools for upward and social mobility? That's the whole purpose of what we're doing, because it's not about a hand out, it's a hand up.
Nice.
Right? And teaching them not only how to fish, but what I love is teaching them how to build fisheries.
Explain that.
So you know how they say the parable that if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day?
Right.
But if you, so my whole thing, if you build on top of that, not only teaching him how to fish so he can feed himself, but if you teach him how to think on a platform level, he can build fisheries. And from building fisheries, he creates jobs and spurs the economy, and it creates stability for his community. That's what we really need to create upward mobility within our ranks, because if we're waiting for someone else to just like, oh, well, we're going to save you guys, there's no one saving us. We have to do it for ourselves, but we're totally capable and more than capable of doing it for ourselves. We just need to be able to give them the opportunities and the resources, and let's go.
Let's go. Wow, that's awesome. Fisheries.
Fisheries.
So you're really making an entrepreneur factory here. You're trying
Yes.
to churn them out.
If we can come out with another 100 each year of entrepreneurs who are scrappy and resourceful and understand the basic principles of taking an idea from nothing and then building something out, imagine how many not only small businesses, but more importantly, what I care about is high growth startups that we can create. Now, is startups right now glorified? Yes. And do a lot of startups fail? Yes. But I can tell you one thing, the two things that I have found that prove entrepreneurs is successful it's time and money. So the more time you can practice and fail, and the more money you have to be able to invest in it, the higher probability you have to succeed. But the college years are the important years where you can actually have some significant amount of time and fail and learn a lot. And you don't have to worry about running out of money because you've now within the ranks of this institution that is kind of helping you experiment as a laboratory. That's why this is important and powerful.
Very important. One thing I know about you and I love about you is that you have one foot in the boardroom and still got your ear to the streets.
Yeah.
So I love that about you. But what are some of the hurdles that you faced in trying to bridge the gap between the two? What are some of the hurdles that you faced just, accomplishing this mission that you have?
I had to learn how to code switch. And what I mean by that is, when I went to UT, I was the first and one in my family to end up going from, my family, extended family. First one in my high school to go to UT. And I think there was a stat that I was given that I was like 1 out of 4 students that got accepted from East Austin. When I first walked on the 40 acres that 2001 fall, I didn't see anyone that I could resonate with. And I was like, wow, I'm feeling a little bit like a fish out of water. But I had to learn how to adapt and assimilate, which was great because it taught me how to, like, some extra level of survival skills. Yes, it was a culture shock, but now I was able to build upon that and then build my way to be able to sit in front on boardroom tables and make decisions. And so I never forgot who I am and where I come from. But being able to code switch between the two initially was hard, but now it's a value added, or it's my unique value proposition. It's my competitive advantage per se, because some people only talk like, they're from the block, and there's nothing wrong with that. And other people just have this corporate speak, and that's okay. But I feel like my role is to be a bridge, to be able to bring those communities together. Because when you think about it, while we may see them as they or the other, we really have more in common. And this place and this role that I'm trying to create is about bringing them together so we can learn from each other. Because the VC could really learn from the street guy, right? Who's out there hustling, maybe with his food truck or his ice cream snow can, whatever it is. They can learn from each other, and new innovative ideas can arise. And that's what I want to see for our community.
Awesome. Speaking of arising, can you tell us any success stories that you experienced? I mean, your whole plight, your life is a success story, but as far as what you've done in the community, how you've impacted the community with CORE or Level Up, can you give us a success story?
Most recently, last month, we were able to give the city a gift that we never thought we would be able to do before. Austin's talked about as the most economically disparate city in the country, or segregated city in the country. We also have been written about as the #1 city for startups. We have tons of people moving here and tons of people getting pushed out every day. And the one thing that people complain about Austin is that it doesn't feel inclusive. They don't feel, especially if you're a person of color or from a minority or underrepresented background, you really have a hard time assimilating or feeling like this is home. It's not like it's Atlanta or DC, right? And when I saw that, I'm seeing the fabric of my community become eroded because of gentrification. And, alongside with some of the people that I worked with and I mentored, this young lady, her name is Janice Amadeki. She had an idea of creating a diversity and inclusion awards effort. And I decided to give her a hand, and we named it the Austin Mosaic Awards and put a lot of the resources and community capital behind it. And we invited the mayor to speak, and it was a packed room downtown at WeWork, around close to 300 people there. And he said, this is what the future of Austin should look like. This is what we need to work towards. This integration of different hues all coming together, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different religious backgrounds, different sexual, whatever it is, right? Like bringing them together so we're accepting of one another and we're able to work together. He said, I want for you as a white person, he was talking to the white community there, and abroad, when you walk into a restaurant, I want you to notice how many people of color there are. Because I can tell you one thing, I can guarantee you that when they walk into a restaurant, they notice if they're the only person of color there. And once we identify that this is a big issue and then we need to be intentional about fixing this, then our city will become its true potential. And those words really stuck to me. And so I think a key successful moment was to have created the very first ever Austin Mosaic Award, celebrating businesses, nonprofits, and individuals who've been carrying the leading by example and trying to create a community around inclusivity, diversity, and being intentional about it.
I actually attended the Austin Mosaic Awards, and I was speechless. You have to go next year, right?
We're going to do it again next year.
If you did not attend, I would advise you doing so. It's an amazing experience, and just seeing all walks of life in one room, celebrating.
A standing room.
Yes, standing room. Celebrating diversity, celebrating being different was amazing. I was hoping you were going to bring that up. I was like, please mention that. Please mention that.
You know, I think it's something, I mean, when people asked us if we were putting it on in such a short period of time, why would we do that? Well, I said, don't bet against us. And then two, they also said, wait, that doesn't exist anymore? I mean, so that doesn't exist yet, rather? And we said, no, it doesn't. I was like, wow, like, I guess we do have a lot of work to do. I was like, yeah, the fact that we even have to have an award showcase because this is an issue in our community means that we have some work to do. But the thing about it is the opportunity is that you can help be part of it. Though it doesn't matter your background. If you want to roll up your sleeves, sign up, and show out and like let people know that you're here to be part of the change, that's what we need. Because we can't do it alone.
One of the things that I think differentiates you from some of the other guests I've had, and people that I know in general, is a statement that you just made. You didn't say the community. You said our community. You're very much a son of Austin, right?
Thank you.
You're very much, you know, a man of the city. So what do you think about the direction that Austin is going? Do you think that it's going in the right direction